ready to play Is This Legal? That was a nice baritone there.
I tried to play kind of under you. I wanted you to take the lead. I was just getting the little undernote.
I mean, it sounded great.
Yeah. You're the star. I'm the supporting cast. That's as usual. So I've got the Is This Legal hypothetical today. Here's what we got. This is, for our new listeners, this is where we give you a fictional legal scenario, and then we're going to ask you questions about it to test your legal smarts, okay? So here is what never actually happened, but is entertaining, hopefully, to you and your ears. Jebediah is hanging out at his shack one day, and Jumpin Jehoshaphat comes by. Now, Jumpin Jehoshaphat asks Jebediah for some fentanyl. Now, that's typically not Jebediah's deal. He usually only deals in moonshine bootlegging, but he actually did happen to have some fentanyl pills on hand. Business had been slow with the moonshine, so he reluctantly sold the pills to Jumpin for some quick cash.
Okay.
And now it turns out that Jumpin did not want to get high, Russ. He actually was pretty depressed, and he wanted to off himself because he was in love with Myrtle, Jebediah's girlfriend, and that love was unrequited.
Ooh, Myrtle's out there breaking everyone's hearts.
Usually it's
Except
Jebediah. Well, when they're on and off again.
Right.
But she apparently she's not into Jumpin, and he was pretty despondent about that. So much so that he took those fentanyl pills home, consumed all of them, and died of an overdose.
Wait, did you just kill Jumpin Jehoshaphat?
Well,
I mean, we need him for the...
It's like a South Park kill, like Kenny at the end of each episode. He's going to come back next time.
Okay,
all right. We'll just write him back into the plot.
So it's like maybe it was an off-scene death.
Look, we as fiction writers have we
have carte blanche.
Oh, we have tons of ways we can deal with this. We'll just resurrect him next episode, and he'll be back to screwing up in no time.
There's a ghost in the machine, is what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly. So this is au revoir to Jumpin
Jehoshaphat.
It's not goodbye. But for purposes of this hypothetical, he's dead as a doornail.
Okay, perfect.
Now, Officer Cornelius arrests and charges Jebediah with distribution of a controlled substance resulting in death.
Yeah.
We've talked about that lately.
Yeah, DAs are going after that more and more.
Now, Jebediah's lawyer Myrtle and girlfriend, Jebediah's lawyer and girlfriend Myrtle, files a motion. Now, listen to this carefully. She files a motion in his case seeking to introduce the circumstances surrounding Jumpin's suicide. She wants to introduce this to the jury to establish that there was a break in causation between Jebediah's sale of the drugs to Jumpin and Jumpin's death.
Ooh.
Now, the prosecutor, the DA, objects to this, saying, no, the jury should not hear evidence of that. The suicide is irrelevant to whether or not Jebediah made this sale. All right? So the question, listener, is what should the judge do with this evidence? Should the jury, in the criminal trial for Jebediah, where he is charged with distribution of a controlled substance resulting in death, should the jury be allowed to consider the fact that Jebediah committed suicide?
Yeah, and should they allow Myrtle to argue that if he did commit suicide, that absolves Jebediah of criminal liability because that breaks that chain of causation?
Now, while you're considering your answer, Russ and I here are going to spitball ways that we could bring back Jumpin Jehoshaphat to life before the next episode. I mean, we could say that a wizard came to Northamptonshire and granted someone's wish to bring Jumpin back.
Okay.
And that happened.
I like that. It could be a Romeo and Juliet type thing. Like he actually took some drugs that made it seem like he was dead, but like a day later, he's actually going to be able to be revived.
Oh, okay. Who's going to revive him, though?
I don't know. Someone like a new character we haven't introduced yet, and see that gets us into new characters, which is always nice.
We'll go to the storyboards on that one. Let's see. I'm running out of gas here. I don't know.
An act of God.
Okay. That's it right there.
Yeah.
Divine intervention.
Yeah.
We're just going to write God in.
Yeah.
He's going to come down.
God can do anything.
He can. And we can make him do anything. He's going to,
just
God's going to resurrect.
God.
He's going to make this okay. All right. We've
done.
Solved our problem. Back to the hypothetical. So, should the jury consider the evidence of the suicide? Do they get to hear that Jumpin Jehoshaphat offed himself or not? Russ, what's the answer to the question?
The answer is they do get to hear that, and that can be a break in that causation. That is straight from a recent Colorado Supreme Court case with similar circumstances.
Yeah, People v. Beverly, Colorado Supreme Court, 2025.
Yep, and Supreme Court said, yep, that is basically, it has to be unforeseeable, and for this suicide to have happened, that was unforeseeable, and it's something that Jebediah had nothing to do with. He
Right.
can't have had a hand in it.
Right.
Right? And as long as those two things happen in a case like this, doesn't mean that the jury will necessarily come out in Jebediah's favor, but Jebediah can argue that, hey, this was a break in it, and therefore you can't find me guilty.
Yeah, the prosecutor, conversely, they're arguing, look, there was no break-in causation. He sold fentanyl to a person, the person consumed it and died.
Right.
That's all you need to know.
Right.
That means that's it. He's guilty. Send him to prison. And what Russ is specifically saying is the judge can actually consider the suicide as it relates to Jebediah's causation.
The jury can.
Yeah, or pardon me, exactly. So that's a tricky one.
And by the way, like this drastically improves Jebediah's chances of being found not guilty in this case.
Of course.
So, I mean, not to spoil it, but he's probably gonna get off on this one.
Yeah, this is a very tricky legal doctrine, by the way. So if you got this one, give yourself an extra gold star. Give yourself an extra pat on the back.
Yeah, this was not a softball.
Yeah, so good on you if you got that one. This is actually something that we have to deal with. Yeah. All right, we're going to get back to our regularly scheduled programming. We'll be right back.